I was looking through some of my knitting patterns the other day, and some of them are really old. I'm wondering, do I need this one or do I need that one? So I'm going to let a lot of you younger knitters see some of the patterns that we use. I'm 74 years old, so you can imagine how old a lot of these patterns are, because I've had them probably since I first started knitting. And this is my folder that I've got all my knitting patterns in, and it's quite thick and there's quite a lot that's not actually in the folder properly, so I could do with another one, but I haven't seen one anywhere actually. I need to look around for another one. So this is my knitting pattern file where I keep all my patterns, and I'm going to show you some of the patterns that I've used over the years. Remember the Loopy Hats? I only ever knitted the caps because I had old boys, but I used to do the hats for friends of mine who had little girls. There were hats, booties and mittens, which you don't see children wearing these days. Another one there. Oh, booties. And these hats, you definitely don't see children wearing these ones anymore. These you might see an odd one. It's not that old, this pattern. Oh, booties, mittens, gloves and mittens, babies' cardigans. Now these ones are in the, I've got a spare one there, I mustn't have noticed that. These are ones I've knitted, most of these for my children when they were babies. I think I've done this for a boy, but instead of a bonnet, I've done a cap. All different kinds of cardigans, and yeah, these ones for little boys with the little pants and sweater. Little hooded jacket. My father was working up in Scotland one time, and a lady up there knit that little jacket for one of my boys when he was a baby, and I liked it that much. I found the pattern for it, so I found the pattern and I knit it for the other children when I had them. Little pants. You don't see little boys with them on anymore. Little baby. I think I've got that one in the wrong place. I need to sort this out. Little cardigans with crochet edges. Pram sets. That's all of my boys wore these pram sets. All little jackets and cardigans. And I love this one. I knit this one for all of mine. But instead of a bonnet, I done caps, but I done the little jacket with the hood. Little suits, pants and sweaters. Oh, I love the little ducks. I think that was called a Dolman cardigan because it was all in one, with the sleeves weren't stitched on, it was all knitted in one. Yes, I like them ones as well for my boys. Oh, I'll put them back in later. little all-in-one suits, little girls' crochet dresses. I think it's Mickey Mouse, a pram set. Cardigans with little motifs on the front. Sweaters, twin sets, little sweater, short sleeve sweater and cardigan. I think I knit those for my boys when they were older. Same with these ones. Oh, and I love that. The liquorice all sorts sweater. I used to have a knitting machine years ago, and I used to knit a lot of those sweaters for my friends' kids. I think nearly everybody in the street had one of those sweaters that I had knitted for them. It was so popular at the time. I think it was first seen on the television by one of the presenters. I think it was Anna Ford on the news thing, and she wore one of those sweaters, and then everybody wanted them after that. Little pants and skirts with sweaters underneath. Little bit of fair ale, cable cardigan, a hat and cardigan to match. Little dogs around the edge of the sweaters. Oh, very good if your kids were in a ballet class. I knit those for friends because my boys weren't anything like that. The Aran style cardigans, I've knit those for my boys and for myself as well. Zipper front cardigans. These were knitted with a bit crochet around the edge, like a little bolero type thing. Oh, how the fashions have changed. I've knit nearly all of these. I remember doing that one in 4-ply. It took me ages. I knit that one, was just for one of my sons. I think I did it. He wanted one like what one of the detectives in Starsky and Hutch was wearing. Starsky. And I couldn't find a pattern the same that was the nearest to it, so he was happy with that one. And this one I knit for my husband. He loved it. Used to have to peel it off him every so often to get it washed. And these were ones I got out of magazines. Little baby sets. It's another one I've knit for myself now and again. In fact, I've still got a sweater somewhere that I did off that pattern. I think they were for a knitting machine. I probably did on my knitting machine. More little hats, Booties Mittens. These little things you knit for babies. You got them out of magazines. A little girl's pram set. I think I knit that for one of my friends' little girls. That's another one. I think I've lost bits of some of these, but Another pretty little baby's little dress for a little girl and a sweater type thing for a little boy. I've knit those. And the same for the girls things with a little bonnet for my friends. Oh yes, I remember doing that for one of my boys, the cardigan with the fair hair around. I was going to do the sweater for myself, but never got around to it. I might do that sometime, but I think this is 4-ply, so I'm going to have to get me yarn from somewhere else other than Aldi's, because they don't do it. More Aran, popular fashions at the time. I knit that one. I loved that little short sleeved sweater. It took me ages to knit that because that's another one that's in 4-ply. It's chunky waistcoats. That was another chunky one I think I knit. Another waistcoats and tank tops. Another free pattern of some wrapped around some yarn I bought, baby yarn. These are men's and boys. There's another one I knit for my husband that he loved. Most of the men's were ones I had knitted up at some time or other for my husband. I didn't knit him that one, he wasn't interested in cricket. And that's the one I think the kids has had a bit scribble on it. That was the one I knit for myself, but I knit it normal length, because at my age I didn't want a little bit stomach shown like that. The stomach would have been hanging over the skirt on me. And more babies. Girls and boys. I think I've knit some of these things for my grandkids and my great grandkids, as this is not quite as old as the rest. Oh, and I remember I knit this for one of my babies. Was a very small baby. He only weighed 3 pounds 4 ounces when he was born, very premature. And these were patterns at the time. There was 3 baby triplets. I don't remember much about the story, but these were those babies, and they were in the news a lot. And these were very small little sets that I knit for my little boy. And then the dolls patterns. I knit a lot of these things for my granddaughters, dolls, and my no, not for my boys. They weren't interested in dolls. Action men, yes, but not dolls. I think the action men were brought out because little boys like dolls. More babies. babies, cardigans, little sets. At the end, so it's a bit chunky jacket. More chunky sweaters and cardigans. I've knitted some of those, not many of them. Oh, and these were the latest fashion at the time. Couldn't tell you what year they were. Long time ago. Nice, but that's a nice one. But you wouldn't be seeing anybody wearing these sort of things today. An odd one or two maybe. That's a twin set. I've knit that at some time or other, a long time ago. Don't have it anymore. So that's my little pattern file, and I'm sure a lot of others have the same sort of thing, but that's at my age. I doubt whether there'll be any more being added to it. I'm quite happy to look through whatever I want there, but I very rarely use patterns when I knit for myself now. So if you like this little video, give it a like and subscribe.